Catherine. It's Catherine. Got a cool name there. I'm going to start your reading. I'm sorry it's taken you so long. I've been battling sickness and battling my son, which might come in and interrupt me. If you see a little glitch in the video, it's me pausing it because he's coming in and bugging me. So, not bugging me, but he's interrupting me. So, the spread that I wanted to do for you, I wasn't too sure which one to choose because you have so much going on right now. And I have to be honest, I do not like to do medical. Not that I can't pick up on it, but I feel like medical should be left up to doctors. Now, if somebody has passed, like a loved one has passed, it's really easy for me to pick up on their energy and how they passed and their ailments because I physically feel it. As for living, that's a whole different situation because as an empath, as a healer and that sort of thing, it's hard because I don't want to give you a certain diagnosis, and obviously this is no diagnosis whatsoever. And you should definitely see a professional, like a doctor, if there's medical issues, which I highly suggest. But yeah, I didn't want to get too in depth with the ailments and sickness and mental and all that sort of thing. And I'm sorry that I didn't really go there. But the way this reading played out was more towards you. Your role and how everybody else is kind of making you feel. And honestly, it touches base with your daughter a little bit. And kind of like the future of that. So I'm going to light some sage, clear my little energy because I'm getting some anxiety from it. Okay, so I did the horseshoe spread. I don't know if you're familiar with the spread. I will do a general with what each card means. It's 7 cards, and then I pulled 2 extra clarification cards at the end. So clarification cards are just to summarize the general feel and that sort of thing. Okay. So the first card that I pulled for you will represent the past or the immediate issue that brought everything together. The 9 of Pentacles, as you can see, is a lady doting on all of her hard work. She has been working in the field, she's working really hard, and she's enjoying her bounty. She's enjoying the fruit of her effort, basically. It talks about being a lonely time, though. Detachment. Let me read my notes. Fruit of labor, success through effort, fertility. Your mother, fertility, kids. Talks about stability, security, supplying a safe place for raising kids, calm, confidence. Material success is not the only way to happiness. So you don't have to be rich to be happy. You are rich in other things. Your family, your love, all the things that are surrounding you, you are rich. It's not all about money. There's a calm confidence. There's more important things other than money. Personal satisfaction. Okay, so there's a certain satisfaction of looking over all your hard work. You being a mom, you being a grandmother, you taking care of the whole house as a whole and sitting back and saying, wow, I can do that. I did that. That's my life. I'm excited for everything that I've done and everything that I've gone through, and I have success. It might feel like a struggle to get through all the things from day to day. It might feel like a burden or hardship, or you're stressing and that sort of thing, but you are rich with family. You're rich with love, and that's the main importance. That's important. Money is not important, and we live day to day, and there's sacrifices, but those sacrifices you do for the greater good. I'm going to pull the next card. This will represent the present. The other one was the past, or the issue that came up. So with that, I feel like you have sacrificed a lot, and you are the bearer of everything. You have basically put in all the effort to kind of keep the boat afloat. The next card that came up was the Page of Wands. Oh, Pandora. I'm going to pause this video real quick because Pandora has a commercial. Okay, we're back. The next card will represent the present, Page of Wands. Reverse cards have multiple meanings. I don't know if you're familiar with reading cards, but reverse cards could literally mean the opposite, or it could mean how you should feel, or it could mean other people's perspective on the situation. They just have multiple meanings, and I just wrote down my notes on what the card and the meaning kind of like collaborated, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. So, pages are messengers. They bring news, promise of creative ideas, great potential, growth/expansion. There's a tiny yet potentially brilliant spark of inspiration. Page is the connection with children. Given the right environment and encouragement, it can grow. Anything is possible. So I know you were talking about your daughter having issues with drugs and substance abuse, and I feel like I don't know if I read your message correctly, but I think you said that you are actually raising your granddaughter, your daughter's daughter, as your own because of her substance abuse. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I thought I read. Now, two things from this card. Two things. Sorry, it popped up a video on my computer. I had to shut it off. Two things on this card is, one, if your daughter has been seeking help, that's what this is talking about, that she is in the right environment, that she could get help, that she can grow and get past all of this, right? Another aspect is your granddaughter, or who... I think that's your granddaughter. I think that's what I read, that you are raising your granddaughter as your own. So that could also be a possibility. It says, given the right environment and encouragement, it can grow. Anything is possible. So either way, if they are in the right environment, anything is possible. You just have to believe that it is possible to get better. Okay, so the next card that I pulled is the Nine of Wands. This is what's helping the situation. So, difficult times must be met with strength and determination. Stand your ground. Already fought a battle. Already fought for your territory, basically. That you put in the effort, that you... I hate to say this because I have a friend that's going through kind of a similar situation, that she used to do drugs. She had her daughter taken away, and my friend's sister actually raised my friend's daughter. Does that make sense? My friend's daughter stayed with her aunt. And once my friend got clean and sober, which she has been for many, many years. Yeah, once an addict and always an addict. But she has cleaned up her act. She has, since then, has already raised another child. So now she's coming back into the picture. She's healthy. She's clean. She wants her daughter back that she let her sister raise. Well, now her sister is not giving her the time of day because she says once an addict, always an addict. well, that, yeah, you're always an addict, but if you do not give somebody the opportunity to prove themselves, you're just going to perpetuate that negative vibe inside that creates the addict. You putting somebody down for past mistakes is not going to help a situation. It's not going to make them feel good or want them to stay clean. What is good is spreading positivity. Hate does not create positivity, basically. So if you expect your daughter to be clean and sober, then I'm not saying that you don't support her already, which you very well may already. Hold on, my son's crying. Hold on. I forget where I was going with that whole train of thought. I was on a tangent there, but yeah. You have to create a positive atmosphere, whatever the challenge in front of you might be. You've already, part of it, yes, you've already kind of fought the battle and you've already gained responsibility over this young child. You have already proven yourself to be a good role model, and that is your territory because you put yourself it's hard to kind of translate all these emotions that are happening in my head. You've already fought the battle, now needing to keep your status, if that makes sense. Yeah, you want to be able to say, hey, I raised her, she's mine now, like my friend's sister is doing, but how is that going to benefit anybody involved? It's going to benefit you. You're putting up a block saying that people don't change, but it is possible. People can change for the better. You're not going to want to give in. You're going to want to protect. But what is helping the situation is if you reserve yourself. Reserve your strength and courage. There might be more obstacles ahead. Self-discipline and control is necessary to be able to carry on when life gets hard or demanding. So something else is going to happen that you're going to be like, I knew something was going to happen, but you can't prevent her from seeing her daughter, basically. That she is her biological mother, right? And she deserves to have her real mother in her life too. Yeah, you want to protect the little girl, but it's so hard because at a certain age, when is it okay to let them know that the truth, basically, that this is what's happening? I want to say that she's around 9 or 10. She's not little, but she's still a child, and you still want to protect kids from seeing the nasty world. But at some point, you have to acknowledge that it's important for everybody to get along, basically. The next card is the obstacles. The Knight of Wands. Change, movement, energy. Jude wants to see, my son wants to see. He's cool, huh? Change, action, change of circumstances, either living situation or change of attitude or lifestyle. Break from familiar, quest for meaning, knowledge, mental stimulation. When I was thinking that, it's like mental stimulation could mean drugs, or it could be the actively trying to stimulate your mind and body so you don't need the drugs, right? I mean, creating another vice, like working out, keeping your body active and healthy so you have something to focus on other than than your cravings or urges, right? And that's going to be a big obstacle for, I think, your daughter, is going to be trying to keep active and keeping her mind and body busy so she doesn't get those impulses to want to use. Now, with your daughter aside, this is an obstacle for you too, because you have so much going on emotionally, with health, and with the stepfather. There's so much going on with you guys that you need to keep yourself busy, and that's going to be an obstacle that you need to kind of take a break from all this. You're going to need a day for yourself, basically. You're going to need a break before you break. That you're going to need some me time. You're stressing so much over everybody else, and you help everyone else around you. It's time for you to take care of yourself. Take one day. That's my challenge for you, is to take one day for yourself. Either go get your hair done, get your nails done, shut your phone off, don't even look at it, don't even ask anybody, or don't answer anybody's questions. Just say, hey, I need a day for me, and just go do your thing for one day. That is my challenge for you, so you can get that release of all this pent-up anxiety that's happening right now. I challenge you to go to your room, little boy, and go play.
Seriously?
Seriously, that's a challenge. It's a challenge for you to go play. It is really late here. It's almost 10 o'clock and it's way past his bedtime. So I'm trying to rush through this reading so I could get him ready for bed. So the next card is the attitudes. Attitudes could be your attitude or other people's attitudes and the influences they have over the situation. That card is the Emperor. This is an authority figure, material wealth, leadership. Leadership, when it came into the picture, I thought of you, for one, that you have kind of risen to the hierarchy of the family and you're taking care of business, right? The other authority figure is somebody like the police or counselor, somebody stepping in between you, your daughter, in the whole drug battle thing. That somebody is, or something has came between, that intervened, and maybe that's what's needed. That's gonna keep the peace between you guys. That, well, the courts say you have to do this, so that's gonna keep the peace between you because she has to do these things, right? So, authority figure taking control over situation, either mother, you, or her birth mother taking more control, that she's going to get more time with her, or taking her back, or police stepping in, or counselors stepping in. Huge influence on people or the situation. Now, this card also tells me that you need to pay attention to your finances. That if you have a feeling, you have a gut instinct that some money is missing, look for that money. Finances are going to be an issue. See if anything is missing. See if anybody is coming up with money that they shouldn't have. But pay attention to money, finances. The next card is what to do.
Hi, Pandora listeners. I'm Will Dirty.
And here is another commercial, so I'm going to pause it so you don't have to hear about this commercial. Hold on one second.
Safeway introduces our exclusive.
Nope, commercials aren't over yet. Hold on one second. I thought it was done. Okay, I'm back. So the next card will represent what you need to do. Now, looking at this card, it's the devil. You're going to think, ooh, evil. No, no, no. Back in the day, before the devil became Satan and all this scary crap, he was this magical creature that he was the god of, not god, but he was the creature of lust and all this fun stuff. Inhibitions and freedom and carefree and this sort of stuff. So This card, even though it looks scary, and if you're really religious, it might be like, oh my god, this is a horrible reading. This card has a different meaning. It has a different meaning, okay? So let me go ahead and read it so you don't get scared off. Releasing inhibitions, blocks. There's lots of blockages happening. Fears, doubts. If you release these fears and blocks, it will provide the energy. It will get the energy flowing again. What might happen is that drugs might come back into the picture because it talks about the lust and desires and that sort of thing. Urges are troublesome. Great power if energy can be released. Get that energy flowing again. Letting go of fears, anxieties, or grudges. Acceptance. So you gotta accept that nobody is perfect and people make mistakes, right? Come to terms. Put energy to good use. Remove blockages so growth and progress can happen. So I don't know if you're resenting your daughter because she put you guys through all this crazy mayhem with substances and that sort of thing, and that's understandable. It's understandable to have fears that something might happen again, right? And I'm not saying that it will, but it's an acceptable fear to have that once an addict, always an addict. Well, you have to show each other respect. People make mistakes. And here is my son. Hold on 1 second. So you can't keep the stigma of your daughter that she's always going to mess up because of that stereotype. That you both have to talk openly about your feelings and accept things that, yeah, people mess up. And I'm not saying, okay, give the green light to let her do whatever she wants and have her life back. That respect still has to be earned. And she should understand that too, that it's going to take a long time for you guys to come back to terms where everything feels okay again. And, but it's going to be a process. It's definitely going to be a process, but both of you guys need to let go of the grudges. It feels like there's lots of grudges happening, and this card says that you need to release all of that blockage. The next card is the outcome, the Queen of Wands. Warm, capable person who can successfully combine business, home life, has strength, dedication to personal and family life, and power, managing to take care of everything. So with this card, I felt both towards you and your daughter that both of you have the strength and determination and willingness to actually do what you need to do to get through this. Excuse me. You're both capable of doing this and capable of moving forward and growing, right? This is a really good positive card to get, that there's still an authority figure. I don't know if you could actually see that, but she's really beautiful, strong. But you could successfully combine all this stuff that's happening, basically. Sorry, my son is distracting me. I'm tired. Hopefully you're understanding this whole reading. So that was the last card in the reading, but I did 2 clarification cards for you. The first clarification card is the 7 of Wands. Protecting oneself, your family, courage, determination, keeping bad things at bay, keeping wits about you, perseverance. So, oh, sorry, I wasn't looking. So yeah, all these things are happening all around you, and it's hard to control things that you really don't have any control over. All these things are happening around you, and you just need to accept that this is how it is, and you can still protect yourself and protect your family but you need to keep your wits about you and be strong and persevere and that sort of thing. I know you're stressing over the fact that illnesses and that sort of thing are happening, but you have to think, okay, what can I do about it? If you can't do anything about it, put it away for later. And it's like you have a big plate of spaghetti and you can't eat the whole plate at once. You have to take little bites at a time. So think of that big plate of spaghetti. Sorry for the weird metaphor, but think of that big plate of spaghetti as your issues. All the things that you're going through right now, just take a little bit at a time. Okay, you're going to deal with this right now, and then you're going to take another bite later. I'm going to deal with this right now. So you don't get overwhelmed, basically. The last card I pulled for you is the Death card. Now, the Death card, it looks scary, but really, it's not. Now, it could mean literal death, because I don't know if somebody's health is actually on the line. But this is a card of transformation, endings, death of which outlived its purpose or its usefulness, necessary changes, inevitable change, do not fear change, natural end, saying goodbye to an old way of life. Saying goodbye to an old way of life, so that might be your daughter kind of accepting, like, yeah, I can't live like that anymore, that she is ready to move on and live a healthier way of life. So that is all that I have for the reading. As for this little one having visions and hearing voices, hold on one second, I have to talk to my son real quick. Okay, so now that I helped my son, I'm going to take you into a journey. I have lived many lives, basically. I have been through so much in my short amount of time being here in the world. Like, I'm only 29 years old, and I feel like I'm 100 because I've not only moved around a lot, but I have been through so much stuff that I feel like I have lived 1,000 lives. One of these lives that I have ventured into, I was a troubled teen. I'm not going to deny it. I was really hard. It was a battle growing up. I did not always get along with my parents, and there were specific reasons for that. But one of those issues ended up with me in a hospital. They thought I was crazy, for one. They thought that I was just too emotional, that I couldn't control my feelings, which was bullshit, excuse my language. But, hold on one second, my son is coming down. So basically, they thought I was crazy, and they loaded me up on drugs. Now, I was only probably like 14 at the time. No, I was younger than that. I was like 12 or 13, and they literally thought I was going crazy. Well, come to find out, I was not crazy, and I still don't think I was ever crazy, and I might act a little crazy because I have so much going on spiritually. Now that I've grown to a certain level or path on my spiritualness, I don't put a label on it, but seeing as though I'm sensitive, empathic, psychic, now that I'm older, I could recognize those signs that I can see. When they thought I was just crazy and bipolar, when I was quote-unquote bipolar to them, that was me picking up on other people's energies, and that affected my mood. So I'm not saying that there aren't mental health issues in the world, because I know that there are straight up crazy people, but I do believe that some mental health issues kind of have been masked, that they have been wrongly diagnosed. I know I was personally wrongfully diagnosed. Now, I don't talk to people about this. I haven't told my family. I haven't told my husband. That he doesn't know this side of me. But yeah, I feel like there are some mental health issues that have been misdiagnosed, that there could be other psychics or sensitives that are going through what I went through. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't take your, I don't know if she's your daughter or your granddaughter that's seeing these visions and hearing things. I'm not saying that you should not see a doctor, but before you decide to go down that route and load her up on drugs, I highly suggest, now you don't have to take my word, I'm in no way a medical professional whatsoever. This isn't medical advice, basically, that I do not assume any responsibility. But I highly suggest trying other alternatives to figure out what she is going through. If she is seeing a spirit, she could be like me. I don't physically see them, but I could see them in my mind, basically, in my third eye. And it's kind of like thinking of memories, and sometimes it's like thinking of somebody else's memories. It's like the spirit sends me a projection of what they went through, like a movie inside of my head, and it's like a memory that they are sending me, and that's how I see them. Like I just did a reading for somebody else, and earlier today, this guy, out of nowhere, I was working, and out of nowhere, I see a picture of this guy, right? And I've never seen him before in my life. I don't know who this is. And tonight when I logged in, I found out that this guy might be somebody for this last reading that I did, that he might be a past loved one for this other lady. I haven't heard back from her for confirmation, but he looked exactly like the guy in the picture that she has on her wall on her Facebook. So before you decide to load up your daughter or your granddaughter with a bunch of drugs and not hallucinogens, but antipsychotics, like before they diagnose her with schizophrenia or any of those scary ailments, I highly suggest trying other alternative medicines, like meditation, for one, grounding, which all these things I could post on my psychic outreach group. Grounding and shielding. Shielding is really important. Literally, it's like putting a bubble or shield in front of you, in front of these spirits, so they cannot psychically attack you. Another thing for her, if she does not want to communicate with the spirits, she needs, I don't know if I told you, I might have told somebody else, but if she does not want to have anything to do with these spirits, she needs to put her foot down and say, hey, I do not want to talk to you right now. Leave me alone, and be firm about it. Tell them, no, this is my space. You are not allowed in my bedroom. I will talk to you later. Or if she's at school and she doesn't want to talk to them, tell them, no, I am studying. Leave me alone. She needs to put her foot down. Another thing is talismans and stones, crystals. Some people think it's just heebie-jeebie, that what the hell is a rock gonna do, right? Well, you can take a black stone. My favorite is black tourmaline, black obsidian, tiger's eye, all these like protective stones. She could have a bracelet or necklace, and that wards off any negative energy. Also, sage. This is my little sage bundle. They're pretty fairly cheap. You just light it and literally surround yourself with sage, the smoke, and go around your house, clear your house, go into every corner and say a little blessing saying only positive love and light can remain here. Anything negative needs to leave, right? So that will clear her space, and literally all the negative energy will leave. You will literally, I literally see ghosts run out the window. So those are just a few things, a few tricks that you need to try that I would suggest before running to a mental health specialist. I say these things because I went through a traumatic experience because nobody literally would listen to me. They just thought I was crazy. So I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that there aren't mental health issues. There are. But please, 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 for the sake of your granddaughter or daughter, you need to listen to her and what she feels is right. I have to get my son to bed. I have to make him a quick snack before bed and get him into bed. It's spring break. It's spring break over at my house, and everybody's up late. It's 10:15 here. I don't know what time it is there for you, but I'm sorry it's taken you so long. I've been battling a bunch of crap over here. So I hope your reading makes sense. If it does not make sense, please, please, please let me know. Be patient with me. I don't know if I explained, I think I did in one of my other videos, if it doesn't make sense now, it could make sense in the future, or I could be picking up on somebody else's energy. So if it doesn't make sense, that could be the reason. So if it doesn't, please don't get mad. Just be patient. I will do another reading for you if this one doesn't make sense. So please give me some feedback. I'd love to hear more about what's going on and if this reading has helped. I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!